Hey, what's up guys? Mr. Joshua with another custom toy reveal. And this afternoon, I'd like to show off to you guys my custom Neca Ninja Turtle action figures. I've been collecting these guys since early February of this year. And I bought one after the other. The very first one that I bought was my favorite, Michelangelo. He was my favorite as a kid, so it only made sense to buy him first. But after a while, I just kept buying them one after the other until I had the whole entire set. And that wasn't enough for me, so what I did afterwards was I went, from Michelangelo all the way to Raphael and just, zombified them. And as you can see, they came out pretty cool. I really like the way they came out. I put in a lot of work with each turtle. Like I said before, the first one that I did was Michelangelo, my favorite. And I think I put about a good 2-3 hours into him. As you can see here, he comes with his little nunchucks. They're actually not that bad for a toy. Real little chains on there and things like that. And with each figure, I actually had to go back. The very first thing I had to do was paint the figures different shades of gray. Like for example, Donatello was always, kind of a little bit darker than the rest of them, so I wanted to make him more darker than the rest, as you can see. And Leonardo, the leader, he was usually a little bit lighter than Raphael. And Michelangelo were kind of same. So yeah, I went back and that was the very first thing I did with each figure that I did was, give him a completely zombified repaint job. But yeah, as you can see here, you can see like, part of his shin just exposed, just a messed up bone. He has a little toe showing. You can see a big giant gash in his foot, which is pretty cool. He has a bite mark right here. Most likely where a zombie probably bit him and turned him into a zombie. Gash mark, another bite mark right here. Got some little gash marks on his hand. And my favorite was the gashed out eyeball. Like, who knows, maybe he was fighting Shredder and Shredder got him and just fucking, gashed him right there in the face. Which is pretty cool. He's got a messed up cheek too, so you can see like the innards of his mouth, missing teeth and such. Pretty cool stuff. See a little bit of his skull popping out right there. Missing piece of shell. He's got a big giant gash right there, like maybe he was attacking a police officer and he got a good shot or two off him, popped him right here and here, and eventually still ate him. Then he has a gash right here, like maybe he was fighting a turtle, like let's say Leonardo, and Leonardo sliced him right there and just kept going after him. Another slash mark there. In the back, I put a hole right there in his little shell, so that's pretty cool. Cracks and whatnot. But yeah. Michelangelo. He's so sexy. I'm going to save him for last because he's the leader. Then we got Donatello here. I actually had a friend of mine who suggested I should put the brain in here because, Donatello was, like, he was the brains, so I gave him exposed brains. Rotted looking brains, that's pretty cool. Kind of a messed up cheek right here. A little bit of a gash. Missing a big giant chunk of his chest, so that's pretty cool. A lot of detail. He has a gash right here in his stomach. A little bit of a bite mark right there. Big giant gash mark. And I don't know if you guys have watched it, but for my last video I explained that I put this big giant just, shattered shell on here because I wanted to basically reenact the fight with Rocksteady and Bebop. Now they basically ambushed Donatello in a comic book, and Rocksteady came along and just, bashed him right here and shell and just completely fucked him up. So that's pretty cool. Nice and gooey inside. But yeah. My favorite part, of course, is the chest. You know, it's cool looking, you know, it really is. I really like the way it came out. Then we got a Raphael. And he's got two of his little sword things. Yeah, check him out. Yeah, check out that huge asshole. Huge gaping hole. And I mean that in the most sexual manner. But yeah, I put a big giant gaping hole right here because I wanted to look like maybe a Krang or something used his like robot in a last attempt and like punched him right here in the chest when Raphael was a zombie trying to eat him and just, you know, didn't work or something, you know. He ate Krang, I guess. And then right here you can see kind of his I want to say like his beak bone is, you know, showing, so that's pretty cool. He's got a big giant gash in his neck. And right here I exposed his you know, cheek muscles and things like that. Pretty cool. Big giant gash in his shell. Another gash. And the reason I you know, did a lot of damage work on him is because, you know, Raphael was a badass. He was kind of an asshole and, you know, stubborn sometimes, but, you know, he really liked the fight and everything. So I just wanted him to look really like ravaged and fucked. But yeah, it took me a while to get this guy done. Not, you know, because it took me forever, but because I just wanted him to look, you know, really cool. Last but not least, look at the leader, Leonardo. Pretty cool stuff. And with that Leonardo, I wanted him to have kind of like a noble death to him. You know, because he was the leader and I think he was probably the wisest out of all of them, so I wanted to give him the least amount of damage, just more of an honorable death type thing. Like, for example, maybe one of it, like, in my little storyline, he's supposed to be the last turtle that survived until he got ambushed by his brothers, so, like, right here, maybe one of his brothers, like, bit him, tore a chunk out. And my storyline goes, right before he turns into a zombie, he meets up with Shredder, and they fight each other, and, you know, towards the end, Shredder, like, you know, cuts off one of his arms or something, and takes Leonardo's sword and stabs him right there in the chest, and kills him. And then Shredder, you know, basically, you know, gets killed by the rest of the turtles. They all turn into zombies and basically eat him, so it's always fun. But a really cool thing about this Leonardo is that, you know, for one, the sword actually comes out. Ah, come on. It's been a while since I pulled it out. It's been a couple of weeks. Actually, you know what? I really don't want to pull it. There we go. Oh, sorry, it's really stuck in there. Gee, how embarrassing. There we go. Not bad at all. Fuck you, Leo. Again, one of the cool things about this figure is that the sword will come in and out. There's a big giant gaping hole right there you can see. And another gimmick that I made for this guy was originally when I was putting a hole through him, I accidentally hit the original ball joint. And when I hit the ball joint, the Dremel just, you know, plopped out. I was pretty pissed off about it. So what I did was I had a bunch of leftover like action figure joints, and so what I did was I, you know, made it my own. And it fits in there just fine, you know. Yeah. Fits in there just fine and nice and snug. There. Good as new. But yeah. You know, so if you really wanted to, you can just, you know, put his arm back on. But the problem is when you have the arm in there, you can't have the sword in there too because of the ball joint. As you can see in there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but in there, the ball joint is basically covering up the hole, so you can't put a sword in there. But you know, it is what it is. Overall, I'm really happy about the figures that I did. And every single one of them took at least 2 to 3 hours to complete. And each figure cost me about each figure cost me about between $11 and $13 minus Leonardo. Ironically, Leonardo was the most expensive. And of all 4 figures, I had to fucking spend like 15 bucks on Leo just because he was, you know, that rare, I guess. Which, you know, kind of sucked because I was like, well, fuck it. Everyone else wants like 30 bucks for him, so I'll just spend 15. I bought him from Japan last month and got him in the mail and stuff, so that's always fun. But overall, everything that I did with these figures was I painted everything, you know, the battle scarring, and I actually did the bandanas too. When these figures originally came in, they all were wearing red bandanas, and that's because all these figures were based off of the comics from the 80s, I believe. And in the comics, they all had red bandanas instead of, you know, orange, blue, purple, and red. Ironically, though, this is actually the same color that the other 3 turtles had, this exact same red. I didn't even have to, you know, paint that bandana red. That's originally how every single figure that you see here came, you know, red bandana. And this is going to be part 2 of part 3 of my Ninja Turtle collection. The next one you guys are going to see is Shredder. But he's not even, I haven't even touched him yet. Still debating what I'm going to do with Shredder. How I'm going to turn him into a zombie. But yeah, that's about it for this video. And if you guys like these custom action figure videos that I'm doing, please like and subscribe. And as always, have yourselves a fun Thursday afternoon.